Hi everyone, this is going to be the September tarot reading for Taurus. This is for September 2022, and this can apply if you're a Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, as well as North Node. So be sure to check out the other videos in case this does not resonate with you. I am taking bookings for personal readings right now, so if you want to get a natal chart analysis done, a synastry chart reading, or a relationship compatibility done, or tarot, you can drop in a message and I will get back to you soon. I'm also doing personal counseling sessions, so if you're facing any challenges in your life and you want specific counseling, with while working with your birth chart, I can help you with that as well. Okay, so let's get started. I'm using the Voyager Tarot deck for this reading, and I'm drawing up 3 cards because these cards are pretty intensive, so I don't want to overcrowd the reading with too many cards. So the first card I'm getting is the Four of Worlds, Commencement. The second one is Four of Crystals, Logic. The third one is the Strength card in reverse. Okay, so let's look at this one by one. So Taurus, September is going to ask you to be a little bit more driven than you may have been in the past. It's going to ask you to take action about something. Maybe something that you've been procrastinating about, or you've just held off in the past, or you just felt it wasn't the right time. Because, Taurus, you're ruled by Venus and you're very in tune with the rhythms of the earth and nature. You know when it's time to do something, and you know when it's time to just sit back and relax and let things happen organically. And I feel like now you're feeling that push, that sense of urgency. Not even urgency, but just that push, a nudge from the universe saying that it is time for you to start something. It doesn't have to be the most perfect or the best thing or the best laid plans in the universe, but it's important that you take the first step towards it. I think that's the main thing. Because I'm also seeing the ram here, which is symbolic of Aries, your predecessing sign. And Aries is about, initiating things. It is a cardinal sign. It is about starting something. It's pretty much the fire starter of the zodiac. So that's the energy that I'm picking up for you, Taurus. And I don't know, I just feel like for the last couple of months, Taurus, you may have felt like you were in this state of limbo, so to speak, where you felt like it almost felt a little bit drudgery, like the state of drudgery where you, even if you wanted to move something forward, you just didn't have the energy in you to move it forward. So it just felt like this heavy weight sitting on you for a long time. And now it's like you have this spark that's kind of lifting this weight off of you, and you can feel that weight lifting off your shoulders, and you can start something new finally. There's a lot of inspiration here in the month of September. Now, what you want to start, that's going to depend on your inspiration, but there's a lot to choose from. Like you can choose to start pretty much anything you want in the month of September. That's the energy that I'm getting here. And I think it's important to be a little bit curious also, because Taurus, sometimes you're a fixed sign, and just like a lot of the other fixed signs, you can sometimes be a little bit set in your ways, which can work well for you sometimes. But sometimes you do need that curiosity. You do need that curious mind that's going to give you that inspiration that you want, because sometimes you find inspiration in the most unlikely, the unlikeliest of places. So keep an open mind is what I'm picking up on. Now, there's only a limit to what you can do that. You're not the kind of person that's going to be extremely open-minded and extremely curious. But, I think what it's saying is like just prance around the woods a little bit and just see what's out there. You don't have to go totally outside your comfort zone, but play within your comfort zone and just try to push the boundaries a little bit just to see what's out there, because, that inspiration is going to come at the most unexpected of situations. What else? But this momentum that I'm picking up on for you, Taurus, it's not like an anxiety inducing, chaotic, urgent, oh God, I have to do this now, and if I don't do this now, what's going to happen? It's not this sense of doom and gloom. It's not it actually feels really good in the month of September. I feel like a lot of you, this spark that you're feeling, it's almost like spark joy by Marie Kondo. That kind of feeling where the change that you're looking at, or what you're trying to start, that new thing, it actually feels really good. It feels really nice, like invigorating. So it doesn't feel like this. Because Taurus, if somebody tries to rush you, you tend to shut down. Like you dig your heels even deeper into the ground. Like you're not going to have it. Like nobody's going to rush you. Nobody rushes the Taurus. I'm a Taurus moon. Nobody rushes me either. But you know what I'm saying. Like if somebody tries to rush you too much, you're just going to be even more rigid about it. So this is not that kind of anxiety inducing, oh God, you got to get it done right now. It's not like that. It's like walk around the forest or the woods and just see what's out there. You may find something shiny when you're walking along the road, and that may give you inspiration to start something new, that kind of energy. So it's very playful and it's genuinely curious. What else? And actually, this thing that you start, it's going to be extremely fertile, or it has the promise of being extremely fertile. Now, that could be quite literally you starting a family, if some of you are trying to have children, or it could just be a new business idea which is extremely fertile and it has the capacity to earn you a lot of money, because fertility also represents abundance and prosperity. So it does have the hallmarks of being that kind of big business venture or a new idea that maybe everybody wants that product in their market, but nobody's really thought about it. And you're like, why hasn't anybody thought about it? And that turns out to be like a really big opportunity, that kind of thing. But something has to hatch. That's the energy I'm getting. Like this new idea that comes out of it, it will break you out of your comfort zone quite a bit. It's not something that's... So even though the inspiration may come to you while you're doing, your everyday life, and while you're living your everyday life, when you actually start implementing this idea, it's going to require you to move quite a bit outside your comfort zone. But it's like I said, again, it's not going to be this anxiety inducing panic attack kind of thing, like, oh my God, I need to do something radically different than what I've been doing for so long. It's actually going to be something that breaks you out of your shell in a really good way. It's kind of like breaking away from shackles that you've placed on yourself. Or it's going to be something that removes some self-limiting beliefs that you had about yourself. Maybe you told yourself certain things, that you couldn't do certain things. And, this new idea or this thing that you're starting, it makes you realize that, no, actually you can do this. And you can do it really well, actually. It's just that you were in this self-imposed capsule, which needs to be broken open for this to start manifesting. What else? Yeah, that's what I'm picking up from this card. The next one is Logic, Four of Crystals. This is about structure or creating a structure about something. So you could be reorganizing your life right now, Taurus, in the month of September. This could be like maybe certain habits in your life. Maybe you're restructuring the way you do certain things in your everyday life, like your habits, your chores, maybe your health, the way you look at your health. But there is some kind of restructuring and reorganizing that's happening in your life. And it's requiring you to look at your life from a different lens, from a totally different perspective. Or maybe not even a totally different perspective, but just a different perspective. And it's amazing how just one small shift can do in terms of changing the way you live your life. Four of Crystals. And it's interesting that even though this card is called Logic, I don't know, I just feel like it's not really about logic in the month of September. I think it's about structure, but it's about using your intuition to develop that structure. So it's not so much about logic as such. Like, you're not going to be using your rational mind, although that may kick in later on. You're actually going to be using a lot of your intuition to guide you to make these structural changes in your life that you're thinking of making. And it's going to be really good. I don't know, I'm just getting this really feel good energy about it, because once you do this, it just feels like I'm getting this image of, you know how when you have these mirrors placed in your house, like they show it in the movies, right? You have a couple of mirrors, and you shift one mirror at a certain angle, and then it starts reflecting the light, and the light bounces off all the mirrors, and then suddenly the room is like full of light, that kind of energy. So it's just about changing one particular perspective just a little bit. It doesn't have to be some major change, but when you do that, it's going to have a ripple effect, and it's going to cascade into a lot of other areas of your life, which is going to radically improve the quality of your life. It's not so much about carrying the burdens of your life. You may have to still work with them. Like, maybe a lot of things in life are not going the way you want them to go, or maybe it feels burdensome to do certain things in your life. But when you don't look at them as a burden, but you look at it as an appendage that still needs to be carried around while you do other things with your life, I think then it becomes easier, you know. It's not so much about carrying the weight, but just thinking, oh, okay, you know, it's part of the routine, it's part of what I'm doing, and it's not so bad, you know. Uh, yeah, that's what I'm picking up from this card. The next one is the Strength card in reverse. This is a very Leo card. The Strength card is about the sign of Leo, but it's also about transformation. It's about your resilience. It's about conquering your demons, if you will. It's about seeing your shadow side and realizing who you are, and that you're both of them, your shadow and light. And neither is good or bad. It's just, it's part of who you are. And it's interesting because sometimes we find the greatest knowledge and the greatest wisdom in the shadow parts of ourselves. The greatest learnings, like, you know, ancient wisdom in the shadow parts of ourselves. That's where we find the real jewels of knowledge, you know. And when you have the Strength card coming up as a reversal like this, it tells me that you've already gone through the transformation. I don't think this is about doing that shadow work. You can still do it. We are all on this continual journey of self-improvement and looking at, you know, doing the shadow work, doing the inner work and all of that. But I feel like you've done a lot of the heavy lifting till now. And now it's about using what you've learned to truly transform your life. So it's not about being in that hamster wheel of shadow work and inner work and just keeping on doing it with no end in sight. That may have felt that way for a lot of Taurians for several months now, but now it's about using what you've learned, like your inner wisdom, your dark wisdom, to really and truly transform yourself. And you've already transformed a lot, Taurus. Like, you're not the same as you were even a month ago. Like, you've gone through some major changes, especially with, Uranus and North Node being in your sign. There's a lot that's been happening for you over the last couple of months. And September is going to be sort of like the tipping point or the turning point, which sees you. No, I wouldn't say like a complete overhaul. It's not like you're doing a massive overhaul, but because of all the changes that you've gone through internally as a result of that shadow work that you've been doing, a lot of things are just naturally revealing themselves to you. Like the answers are coming to you naturally. You don't have to go out looking for them. I think it's all happening internally, where your intuition is guiding you. The sparks of inspiration are coming to you. So it's all happening, but it's not happening in an obvious way. Like it's just naturally unfolding. I'm going to pull one more card and then we'll be done. So what is the final message for Taurus for September? What does Taurus need to know? What is the final message for Taurus? Okay. It's Censor, Woman of Wands. Okay, so this is a very sensory card, quite literally. Like, Taurus, you rule by the senses. And I think in the month of September, it is about getting into that Taurian vibe where you get grounded by being in your senses. And I know that sounds so strange because everybody's like, come to your senses. There's that common phrase, right? Like, are you in your senses? Like, but that's a very Taurus thing. Like, you have to be in the sensory realm for you to stay grounded. That's your key to unlocking your imagination, unlocking your creativity, unlocking your sense of being stable and grounded, is when you can feel things and sense things around you. That's when your third eye opens. That's when you get all the inspiration, all the answers. So I think what September is teaching you is do what you do your Taurus thing. Like, smell the perfume, go out into the woods, walk on the ground, wear the clothes that make you feel really nice and luxurious, cook the food that makes you remember fragrances that remind you of home, or that make you feel comfortable. The Taurus vibes, basically. You know what I'm talking about. Like, you do it naturally. The more you do that, the more the answers are going to come to you. That's your key to staying in this Taurus vibe. Sorry, as soon as I said that, I started coughing, which is a very Taurus thing because it's ruled by the throat. So maybe it has something to do with your voice as well, like speaking your truth, or music. I feel like you're going to discover a lot of mysteries about your life, or a lot of answers are going to come to you when you start getting into these Taurus like activities. So it's not about like trying too hard to meditate or doing something extra special just to get the direction that you need in your life. I think it's about the mundane everyday stuff, which is really not mundane for you, because Taurus, you actually like the sensory experience of a lot of the mundane stuff, and you don't think of it as drudgery. Like, for example, if you're the kind of person who likes to cook, a lot of people may hate chopping vegetables, but you may be the kind of person that actually likes that because it calms you down and you like to hear the crunch of the vegetables. Simple things like that. You take pleasure in those things that bring you back to your senses. So I think that's where the mystery is. That's where the magic is. That's where you're going to find your answers. So don't sweat it too much. September is actually a great month for you to just keep doing what you do, and answers are going to come to you effortlessly. So that's it for you, Taurus, for the month of September. If you like my reading, do give it a thumbs up. Your likes always help my videos stay relevant in the YouTube algorithm. Do share and subscribe to my channel. Do consider doing that if you haven't already. And drop in a comment in the comment box if it resonated with you, and do get in touch with me for a reading if you'd like to, get an analysis done. That's it from me, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.